Hello, welcome back to New Gameplay Today. I am Leo Vader. Jeff Cork's out today. We've got Jeff Markiafava.
Hey.
And we have Matthew Kato.
Hello.
Oh, you've been playing and reviewing Days Gone lately.
That's correct. Yes.
That's
I've been
excellent.
in the, there's the Vietnam expression for when you're in the war zone, which I cannot repeat here unless you want to censor it. But
In the poopy, I think.
Thank you.
I've
Family
been
friendly.
doing that, and that's what they call it in game, you know. Have you been in the, and that's what I've been in. As you can see here.
Oh,
from a
that
bunch of
wolf.
guys. That wolf's getting out of here.
That
'cause
wolf
he
led you
knows.
right to him.
Yeah, so right here is kind of like a horde, and as you can see, that's a number of zombies I've got coming on location. Holy moly, get out of there.
Yeah, what's your plan here?
And right now, I'm kind of winging it, which is what you don't want to do. This isn't too bad of a swarm, actually, so let's see if we can plant a trap here next to this. Ooh, let's do a proximity bomb. Gonna plant it. Oh, excuse me, one side. I need to do this here. I'm gonna see if we can run and heal, which is a skill in the game. So I hit the D-pad to heal. Well, it's actually a skill to unlock to actually run and heal. So that's one of the first ones. I'm just a little tip. You're gonna want to get that one because you're gonna be doing a lot of that simultaneously. Now this horde isn't too bad, as I was saying. They get pretty big, but in general, if you get surrounded by about 5 of these guys, you're pretty much done for. Okay, did I place that one? Yep. I did place it. I did.
So how'd that go, do you think?
That did not go super well. Although, like I said, that horde wasn't super huge. There are some story mode based hordes where, for instance, it's like, it's tied to a story event. And some of those have like a meter up top, and those can get pretty large. This one's more of like, I'm wandering around and I stumble upon it, and this is actually a pretty good camp. See these trailers here are called Neuro Outposts, and you can get kind of permanent skill or permanent attribute upgrades. So if you look down in the bottom left, there my blue is my stamina, so that's when I'm running away from the horde to see that deplete like that, and of course my health. So these Nero Camps, you're going to get these little injector serums, and you're going to be able to permanently boost your stamina, your health. Thing is see that thing up there, those red wires? Those are the megaphones. You're going to want to take those out. So you can get up there, take those out, because of course the zombies react to sound. So I've been here before, and luckily I've taken that out. And as you can see actually in the bottom right, see the at about 10 o'clock on the HUD, there's that megaphone with the sound coming out of it. That's one that hasn't been taken out. So if I wanted to be smart, I could go over there, avoid this horde, and take that out. And so they're moving, as you can see, they're not really aware of my presence, and they will move and sort of drift around organically. Of course, a couple of them, like hitting these couple guys is probably not a big deal, won't attract the whole horde. But the longer I mess around with these, now this is getting serious. The longer I mess around with these guys, and watch, I'll put a suppressor onto my gun here, so I don't attract too much sound attention. Ooh,
Whoa.
Somebody has somewhere to be on that bike, man. Take me with you.
A living, breathing world.
Yeah, you will come across, mainly it's like out camps, or sometimes you'll come across survivors, or certainly like wolves, as we saw before there. I have to repair my club. You do that with scrap. So if you find a favorite club you like, you have to repair it before it gets down to 0, because once it goes down to 0, it is officially just straight up broke, and you'll have to then find another melee weapon in the world. So if you see it and it's red like that, you need to repair it, and you repair it with something you find called scrap. So let's see if we can find, I think the horn there is straight ahead. So we have these guys. So let's see if we can lead them to kind of a choke point like this. See, I run here between these two things. And I'm going to throw down a Molotov. And because what they'll do is they'll kind of clump up around some of those natural barriers. So this is only 5. This is not a huge part of the horde. So let's kind of shake these guys by going by this explosive crate.
So how infested is the world? Are you constantly being harassed on your way from place to place?
There we go.
Do the fights ever get old like that?
A little bit, but I mean, you can do story missions or incidental missions, which will clear out. They'll kind of thin out the world to make it a little safer to just sort of ride around. And when I mentioned survivors before, what I mean was you'll come across in the open world people crying for help, and if you basically kill the zombies that are around, then there are survivors and you can send them to a camp. And a camp is where you get upgrades for your... Man, these guys really know I'm here. Is where you'll get upgrades for your weapons and stuff. And then you send the survivors there, you get trust through the camp. And so you can only buy the upgrades depending on your trust level. So you're going to want to do that. In terms of like the rest of the open world, it's, it's not like it's... like what's the famous Fallout world of Dave's, that's the kind of thing people stumble across. I'm not getting the sense that there's a lot of those really like, I don't know what you want to call them, real sort of spontaneous sort of stories that exist in the world. It's more like, here's a camp of zombies, take them out. Here's a camp of human survivors, marauders who are kind of like, oh man, I gotta see if I can get that. Oh, I did it. And I died.
Yeah, that's the vibe I've gotten in the lead up to launch here. Is pretty straightforward open world game. Lots of progression and skills and everything, but not really changing the game. Were there any surprises? I
mean, the survivors were kind of a surprise in the sense that like you'll be riding along, you'll see them. You will, which is kind of a cool surprise. Doesn't sound cool, but it is, trust me, is when you get shot off of your bike by a sniper. And there's a slow-mo sequence. Or there's also... what do you call them? Like garrote wires or like suspended wires. So like Ewok, Return of the Jedi style, you're going by, you're biking along, and all of a sudden, bam, you see it at the last second, and then it just takes your head off and it throws you off your bike. So those are the kind of things that you see in the world where if there's a camp of, let's say, marauders, and marauders are like these human survivors who basically just set up these camps to pick people off. You'll be going by and you might, if you haven't cleared that camp previously, you might find that kind of a trap in the world. Sure. It'll kind of throw you off your bike, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, I got to clear these guys out now. But you're right. I mean, like Leo, it's not that there's not things to do in the world, because there is, but it tends to be pretty, like I said, it's not as like, hey, look what this thing that I found, it's really cool and nobody else might find it. It's more just like, oh, here's a camp. Here's some undead guys. You can hunt a little bit, although hunting's not like crucial to your progress. Or you can like, oh, I can pick these berries, and again, that's not like it's super crucial to like upgrading your character, but they are aspects of the open world. I just wouldn't say it's like a super dynamic, inviting open world, if that makes sense to you guys.
Sure, yeah. We can't weigh in too much on specifics before the review embargo, which is this Thursday.
Correct.
We'll also have information up then on differences between base PS4 and PS4 Pro. We're playing on base PS4 right now. The load times have been pretty extreme.
Yeah, they can be a little longer. I'm curious, I know they're preparing a patch, so I don't know how, some of that might affect some of the stuff we may be seeing here, so we'll have to look out for that. Let's see if I can set it up. I could craft one of these proximity bombs. And then, let's see. Let's find a spot. Let's run. So again, stamina running is pretty important. So you're gonna want to upgrade that when you can. Let's see if I can bring them by here. So there we go.
Nice.
And there's still a horde there, a bunch of them. So in terms of like engaging the horde, there's definitely some pretty cool locations you're just going to have to run into them. Again, I said there's some story-based ones, but this one, as you can see, it's a Nero Camp. It's got a lot of stuff, a lot of goodies to craft and stuff like that. So you're probably going to be here. You're going to want to be by here and check by here because, like I said, you're going to find some cool stuff. It just happens to come with a horde, so that's just something you're going to have to deal with.
Yeah, is there anything else we can show off?
Just want to... I should just show you the map, where the map we are. So this is, pretty somewhat early in the game. I don't think all these hordes are going to be around. But as you can see, like here's like a little area, like a little town area. So you'll probably come by here through a story mission and have to, clear these guys out. But like here's fuel. So if you're riding around the world and you have to gas up your bike is a crucial part. It's not just because, hey, I'm a biker and I love my bike. You can't customize it, but it's crucial in the sense that you're gonna need to repair it. So as I said, if you get like sniped, I was trying to do my gun. If you end up getting like coming across a guy and they pick you off in your bike, or like even some of the zombies, they might like lunge at you and take you off your bike as you're riding through. You're gonna have to repair it. And so that's just one of those things that is pretty crucial because it's repaired like I was repairing my club here. You see my club, I can repair it with scrap. You also have to repair your bike with scrap. So you're not only going to find, it's obviously very valuable in the world, but it's just time. Like, for instance, if I wanted to get on my bike right now and escape this horde, okay, so I find my bike there. It's on the HUD. It's over to the west. So let's see if we can get over there. But, oh, man. There we go. I didn't have to use my club. Don't make me use my club on you guys.
And can you whistle for your bike?
You can't, and which is, it's going to be one of those instincts where you're going to be like, I wish I could just whistle for my bike because I could really use it here. So I get on my bike. Luckily, it's repaired, and it's gassed up. That's the thing. You want to make sure this thing is gassed up when you're trying to do these kind of getaways. But I found also going through, even having it orientated a certain way definitely helps. So let's say I want to escape this horde, and it's getting a little hairy, but I want to come back to this location because it's got some cool scrap or it's got some resources I want. So what I might do is, okay, here's my plan. I'm going to put it out. Let's face it, the road going out of town. And what I want to do here before I engage anybody is see down the circle there, 91%. Okay, my bike's ready to go. Even if I, let's say, have to I get hit off of it and I've got to push it back up and get back on it, I know that it's good to go. Gas, 39% as well. Because I'm not kidding you, there's been times where I do something cool, I clear out a nest and I'm like, all right, time to make my getaway. See you later, suckers. I get on my bike and it's freaking out of gas. Yeah. And then, I've got to hoof it and then it's a whole other set of things. So, where you going, man? Come back here. Let's see if I can just shoot this guy off.
Is it guaranteed to be a bad guy there?
Yeah, that's a bad guy. And see, so even by engaging in that guy, of course, shooting your gun just attracts these mindless brutes.
Is fuel and scrap kind of an unlimited resource? Or are there places that you can go to get them?
Yes. So for instance, in this case, if I was to drive by this town, I could just stop by here and fuel up. But there's also instances where, let's see if I can go down the road here.
You might want to hop on your bike.
Well, let's just see what happens. So if I run down here, these cars down here, there may be a fuel can in there.
Okay.
Maybe not. You know what? Let's see if we can. Do I have to do this? Let's see. Here, let's see if I'm just going to get in here, guys. Don't mind me. So
smart.
They're not very smart. This is one way you can just kind of lay low for a little while. I mean, I think they should disperse if I give it enough time. Excuse me. But there may be a gas can here. Okay. I mean, you'll notice sort of the signs in the sense that a tow truck is pretty likely to have a gas can attached to it, whereas this is obviously just cars or they're cop cars. Honestly, I don't know if, for instance, by the way, here's a melee weapon if you have to, a machete. So as I said, you have to, keep crafting to keep your club up on the percentage. Because if it goes to 0, it'll just break. If it were to break, I could easily just run and come across something like this. Let's see what else. Okay, it has an airbag. I think I use an airbag, if I'm not mistaken, for one of the traps, I think. And it lists, see there, remote bomb. It lists just the things you're going to need. I don't know if, let's say, if I were to go across this truck, 15 minutes later, if it would automatically respawn something like a gas can. I don't think so. It might respawn that machete, or it might replace it with a plank of wood or a baseball bat or something.
Do all the crafting pickups make sense like that, or are you picking up airbags from loot boxes?
No, it all makes sense. And so you'll come across something like, oh, cop car. I should be able to, let's say, pop the hood. I think this one might have already been done. Pop the hood and get scrap. Or in the back might be a fuel can or something else. And then, another thing I noticed too is that it's pretty good in the sense that if we go over here, this health cocktail obviously uses a rag, mountain sorrel, so that's some mushrooms you'd pick up, but also sterilizer. Sterilizer, as we see, is also found here in the stamina cocktail. But there are a few sort of shared components like rags, sterilizer, things you'd expect. Sure. But I did find it does a pretty good job where it's it's not like you're really having to make hard choices between okay, well, if I want to do, this thing versus this thing, but I'm really eating up my components because it all doubles it up. Mm-hmm. It does do a pretty good job of you find something and it's kind of unique, But it's the right line between being very unique, but also
You're not screwing yourself.
Yeah,
over.
you're not screwing yourself. But at the same time, like, scarcity of supply is definitely something you have to think about as you're going through it, because many times I find myself where it's like, okay, I like this gun, and all of a sudden, bam, I'm out. I'm out in a crucial time, and then I might have to switch, okay, certainly to my sidearm, or I might have to just find another way to, like, okay, maybe I've got to get more inventive with a sniper gun, or vice versa, where it's like I'm here with a sniper gun, but I might just have to get up close, sneak up, and start using my melee weapon because this thing's just not going to have a lot of ammo for it.
Sure.
Is there anywhere we can show off uninfected enemies?
Sure. So let's see if we can find like an actual like camp of people. Can we get over? Here's a marauder camp. I don't have enough fuel for that, so let's see if there's a closer one here.
What do you mean don't have enough fuel?
Well, so this is I've been to this area of the map. Obviously, it's uncovered from the fog of war, so I could fast travel here to Hot Springs. The only problem is
it depends on the amount of fuel that's in your bike.
It depends on the amount of fuel in my bike. So
interesting.
That is a case where, in this situation, I might have to head over. Well, let's just fast travel here, see what happens. I might have to, like, I was trying to run down the road, see if I can find some fuel, and then make my way to, somewhere else. Or maybe I would come here, fast travel to here, see if I can find some fuel in order for me to fast travel to that other location. So, these Nero camps, this is another one, are pretty, let's just take this hatchet, are pretty key sources for resources because you might find something like a fuel can. So, is there a camp around here we could find? Let's see. These are just more sort of horde zombie areas.
Now, you're saying zombie, but you mean freakers, right?
Yeah, capital F freakers
right.
In the parlance of the game. That is correct.
Thank you very much.
Yes, and there's different kinds. There's things called screamers, and those are real pain because, as the name implies, they will scream and call more freakers and stuff to your location. There's these really big buff guys. I cannot remember their name, but they can be pretty tough to bring down. We just gotta make our way. Oh, you know what? Can I not get through with my bike? Do I have to clear this out? See how that my bike just tipped over? Mm-hmm. That's another sort of preparedness thing where if you want to make a fast getaway, you will have to hold down square to pick that thing up.
Yeah.
And that's killed me a few times. Or they're swarming around you, and you're just like, man, can you just let me pick up my bike for a second? Be cool. And I'll just be on my way. See, there you go. And just heal there.
There you go.
So I think in this particular instance, I have to clear out this area in order.
And then that barricade will go away.
Here's a little QTE. So I hit X. Did I get that?
Oh, nice.
I did. Yeah. So that's a skill I've acquired along the way, along the skill tree. And let me just show you that real quick.
Please do.
So these are the melee-related ones, and so there's these 5 tiers here. But to get up into each tier, you have to get 2 in the previous tier. One. So there will be sometimes you get some ones that you're like, I don't love this skill, but I'm going to get it so then I can just get on to the next tier. But there's a lot of helpful things in here. And so in terms of the melee one, I'm trying to think of where that one was. I'm not exactly sure, but it's in here somewhere. And so, here's ranged, and then certainly survival.
Does it feel like you can spec into focusing on melee or focusing on ranged, or you feel like you need to have both?
I would think it's smarter to go through each one of these, and let's say, and this off the top of my head, maybe in the first 2 tiers, you could probably get some pretty cool things for the melee, range, and survival, and then start to go back and be like, okay, who am I and who do I want to be? And start to go through. As you can see here, I've gone through and I've gotten to tier 5 out of each of them, which I think is a very doable thing. It's not like I totally went crazy on the grinding just to get the 5 tiers.
Yeah, because this isn't nearly an end game save or anything, right?
It is. It
Okay.
is, and we're going back into certain areas.
Gotcha.
But I don't think it's hard. I don't think it's out of question that your average person is going to get 5 tiers in each of those. It's just a matter of them going back and like really refining who you want to be. I think you'll even refine who you want to be even in I think as you get up to like, again, past tier 2, 3, you're going to go back, you're going to find some cool things that you're going to want, and you're still, going to only be midway or, less than midway through the game.
Can you get that megaphone?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Do you just have to shoot it?
So I can shoot. Where is it? Oh, it is right here. I can shoot it, or I can climb up and here. Thing is that being up top here isn't super safe because they will climb up and get you, like this guy is. So even like taking the time up to get up, it'll only buy me so much time, but then it takes X amount of seconds then to actually disable that thing.
Is that a slow motion ability? You triggered or what?
There is, yeah, but I don't think I think it triggered it just because I shot him in the head. I don't know if it triggered it, but you can trigger what it's called. Like I think it's called like focus. Let's see here. Let's go down to. Sorry, folks. So we go over to range. Yeah, focus shot. So this is the first tier. Obviously, you're going to get that, and then later on, I think you can get more focus, which obviously is helpful.
Focus, we all remember from Tony Hawk's American Wasteland, also slowed down time.
That's true. It's true. As
Similar
as we
feature.
all. I didn't want to say it because I knew that everybody knew that. And that was the game everybody was going to reference.
It's a waste of time to even say it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Something I'm curious about, when you were about to fast travel, it showed you the time cost that 2.5 hours are going to
And
pass. How
fuel.
much of a factor is time? Because like you can check the time in the menu. Are freakers stronger at night or anything?
They are stronger at night, and so there's something that's called like nests, which is like obviously nests of freakers and zombies, and you clear those out. And my preferred method was to clear them during the night, clear them the day, because there was less of them just around. But if you clear them out at night, it's harder to get to the nest because they're just roaming around. They're nocturnal, but less of them will stream out of the nest when you set it on fire. Versus in the day, it's easier to creep up to them, but more zombies will pour out when you inevitably do set them on fire. So for me, it was just like, well, I'll just set it on fire, kill the nest, and then deal with everything else after the fact, which basically included me running away, getting on my bike. I think that's a better way to do it.
We did a cover story on this game last summer.
We did.
We had a ton of gameplay. They were very kind to us. Jeffm, you were on that trip.
I was.
Do you notice anything different since then? Anything changed?
Well, the freakers don't have hit point numbers above them anymore when you attack them.
Controversial when people first saw that.
Yeah, they had been debating and going back and forth on whether they were going to leave those in there as kind of visual feedback for the damage that you were doing.
And that is an option still.
Okay.
Yeah, you can go through it and turn that option. I didn't turn it on. I think it defaults to off.
Okay.
I didn't necessarily see a need to turn it on, but at the same time, I don't know. I guess it probably won't be a problem for me either. See, here's just...
There you go.
This happens to be an in-the-world gas thing, so we can just gas up here.
Nice.
Looks like there's a lot of gas. Look at that HUD. There's gas everywhere, man.
Yeah. Is this kind of like an unlimited supply for gas, or will it eventually run out here? Or?
No, it is unlimited. Like, there's not, despite whatever that HUD just showed you there a second ago. I mean, there's definitely gas locations, like here's one. But I mean, like, if you look around, it's not like there's a ton of them. And by the way, this isn't the whole map. This is part of the map. So
how is the map? Is there good variety?
Put it at that. There's snow, but I wouldn't. And here, as you can see, there's forest versus desert. It's not super remarkably, not like, it looks different, but it's not crazily different. If you know what I mean. You go up hills and it's passes. It's Oregon.
I do still want to see what fighting a human camp is like.
Okay.
Nearby.
So we just gassed up. So where was that one? That one was right there. So we're gonna. Oh, my bike is too far away. Okay, so you do have to like stand by your bike.
Yeah, is it a pain to keep track of your bike?
I mean, other than so much that, like I said, you have a plan, you're smart, you'll be fine. You can also quick save. So if you go here, see in the bottom left, it lets me to quick save. But again, you have to be close to your bike. And apart from, unrealistically wanting to whistle to find my bike, as you were saying.
Yeah.
I didn't find it was, if I was prepared and I had a plan, I was fine.
Sure.
But that makes sense. That's part of the game,
That's the kind of thing I personally do like, is the little grounded ties to the world. You can't just teleport your bike to you at any time. I appreciate that.
Yeah, totally. So in terms of the zombie apocalypse, there is that touch of realism. That in mind, yeah, you got to keep that in mind. Okay, so let's go to let's just mark that one, and so it's pretty close, very close as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I think I've got to talk to somebody to get this job. So this is a camp, a human camp. I've made contact with these people previously in this story. So they're going to come in and you can guess there's a mechanic where you can upgrade your bike, and as well as just get fuel. And of course, there's also here you're going to get jobs like this one from Tucker. And we're going to talk. We're going to skip it. No offense. Let's just get what we came here for. You're no longer of any use to me, so let's get going.
Do you enjoy the writing?
It's okay, it's not bad. It's not like exceptional. I mean, the story, I think, has its strengths and weaknesses. Yeah. Well, obviously, I'm not gonna spoil it and go into depth right there, but like a lot of things, it has its strengths and it has its weaknesses.
Sure. Don't we all?
That's true. Again, realism, a key point, and as we're talking here.
Right.
So let's see if let's find this camp. Somebody's making trouble here, so let's see if we can.
I'm curious how often you end up fast traveling. Do you like touring through the world when you can, or do you...
a general rule of thumb for me is like, okay, so see there in the orange, sort of like, here's where you're heading to meter. That was at about like 500, 600. To me, that's short. 800. There's a bear.
Can we see that?
Where was that bear? As bears are, brown bears, they're pretty they'll just sort of mosey along, minding their business. So it's not like you're always going to get jumped out attack. Where was it?
Is there a instinct button?
Is there an instinct button? I don't see. I see some deer there. I can hunt those guys, but that bear.
Was it up by the deer? Was it
up by the deer? I don't think so. I think they mentioned it back there. And usually when they says it, it's pretty close to when he said, "Uh-oh, bear." It's usually pretty close to where he says it. Well, let's just keep going. We can't. So as I was saying, I would say like 800 meters.
Wolf chasing.
Wolf.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna do. What was that?
It's the old-fashioned way. It's the way you do it.
You can just lock on to targets from your bike?
But then again, they're fast. So, I mean, they will track you down. So, if it's about 800 plus, I'll probably fast travel.
Yeah.
Under 800, I'll probably run. And then, I'm about 100 meters out. I like to park my bike at about 100 and come in under stealth, get a little assessment. So, let's come in here. So, let's scout here. Kill them all. That's what she said. All right, so I'm going to mark these guys sort of AZ Kuzo style. Get out of them. But these guys, these rippers, were these bald guys with their shirts off? That would make them rippers.
Yeah, I think you got a message too when you took the mission that it was rippers.
Okay, so they can't see me in this tall grass. And, okay, so I'm just gonna focus. Let's just bring them all down. Let's not be very stealthy about this. Let's just see what happens.
Is stealth viable if you want to be that way?
Yes, it is. And the AI, you can lose the AI in the sense that lose the alert and then come by and just start melee killing people. Here.
Right.
Now, some of these camps they will tell you how many people. So down in the bottom right, they'll tell you like 6 of 15, and so that's a good way to keep track, obviously, of if you haven't marked everybody. It'll keep track of who's still left in the camp. Okay, that's what you get. I'm gonna melee you. There we go. My hatchet. See, now it's already down to 31%. So I definitely have to. I don't have any scrap. Okay. And then if your weapon breaks, you still have a boot knife, which you can melee kill people with. So it's always an option. It's just the boot knife takes, a long time to gut somebody with a boot knife. You're going to be hacking at that person for about 6, 7, 8 hits, which is just a long time to be engaged.
As we've all experienced in real life.
Yeah, don't you hate it when that happens?
Yeah.
A long time in this world to be engaged in a melee kill. And so this is a pretty small camp. I'm not too worried about this. But the longer you end up going and firing your gun off, the more likely it is that you're going to bring down some more zombies on you. So
Deacon's having a little meltdown right now.
Yeah, he gets pretty aggressive. He's not a fan of the Rippers, so like. And then this is not this kind of camp, but there are certain kind of settlements where they had to find kind of a hatch, and that hatch gives you upgrade plans, so you can upgrade like this hatchet. I don't know if it's hatchet upgrades, but like that baseball bat I had or whatever had something on it, a mod on it. You'll find in the certain camps you'll find ways to get recipes, so you can craft that. So that's cool.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, great. Is there anything else you want to show off?
No, I mean, I think, I think we covered a lot of stuff. There's definitely interlaced gameplay systems, things you can find out in the open world, obviously jobs you can get from the different human camps. And then you're just looting the dead here like this, Don't forget to do that.
Circle of life. So your review will be up on GameInformer.com on this Thursday, the 25th, and then the game comes out this Friday, the 26th. Well, thanks for joining me, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Leo.
Bye.
Well, that episode was just okay. What are you going to do? Subscribe to Game Informer on YouTube for new episodes of New Gameplay Today every week, covering brand new releases and previews of upcoming games, too. You have my promise that at least one of them will be good.